Muhammad Ali called it the Louisville Lip. Conor McGregor turned it into a 600 million empire, and Russian Pop-MMA killed it in 3 years. I've built 2 fight leagues from scratch, karate combat and dirty boxing, and I've sat in rooms where trash talk literally determined who got the main event slot and who got cut from the card. And here's what nobody tells you. The trash talk game has fundamentally changed. What worked for Ali doesn't work now. What worked for Conor 5 years ago is already outdated. And in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how trash talk evolved from an art into a science, and why social media destroyed the golden era of authentic rivalry. Adam S. Kovacs, I've commentated fights, built fight promotions, and sat across the table from fighters negotiating contracts where their ability to talk determined whether they made $5,000 or $50,000. This isn't theory, this is what actually happens when the cameras stop rolling. Here's the uncomfortable truth that most fighters don't want to hear. Your fighting skills are only 50% of your value. The other 50%, how well you can sell a fight. I've seen technically superior fighters get passed over for main events because they couldn't promote themselves. I've seen average fighters with big personalities headlining cards. And here's what changed everything. In the Ali's era, you had to be on TV to matter. In Conor's era, you needed viral moments. But now you need to be 24/7 content machine. But before I show you how social media broke the game, let me take you back to where this all started, because understanding the evolution is the only way to see where this is going. So the first one, the golden era, when trash talk was an art. Muhammad Ali didn't just talk trash, he invented the blueprint.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. George can't hit what his eyes can't see.
Poetry, theater, psychology. Ali understood something nobody else did at the time. The build-up could be as entertaining as the fight itself. But here's what made Ali's trash talk genius. It was authentic. He genuinely believed he was the greatest. He wasn't playing a character, he was amplifying who he already was. And that authenticity, that's the thread that connects every great trash talker in history. Then came Tyson. Different style entirely. Ali made you laugh, Tyson made you scared.
I'll f you till you love me, faggot. I want your heart, I want to eat his children.
This wasn't poetry. This was primal intimidation. And it worked because when Tyson said he was going to hurt you, you believed him. But notice, even Tyson's trash talk was authentic to who he was at the time. A damaged kid from Brownsville who genuinely had violence inside him. Floyd Mayweather, he took trash talk in a completely different direction. He turned it into a business model.
And I want to be just like you when I get up in the ranks.
Shay, I barely know who the fuck you are. The fuck you mean I want to be like you? Money Mayweather? I'm gonna fuck you up some more.
Floyd understood something crucial. People will pay to see you win or to see you lose. It doesn't matter which, as long as they care. He made 1.2 billion, not because he was the most exciting fighter, but because he was the best at making you care about the outcome. And I think he was one of the best fighters of all time. But Floyd's approach had a shelf life, because the next generation would take what he built and weaponize it in ways nobody saw coming. Then came Chael Sonnen, and everything changed.
Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck!
Chael took the WWE formula and injected it directly into MMA. The monologues, the storytelling, the complete disrespect. But here's why Chael was different. You could see the wing. He was playing a character, the brash American loudmouth, but he committed to it so fully that it didn't matter if you knew it was a bit. The entertainment value was the point, and Chael proved something that changed the fight game forever. You could lose the fight and still win financially, and even win fans. He lost to Anderson Silva twice, but those 2 fights did massive pay-per-view numbers because of Chael's mouth. Then Conor McGregor arrived and broke the entire model.
Your mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Conor understood something nobody else did. In the social media age, the 30-second clip matters more than the 30-minute press conference. Every line was designed to go viral. Every confrontation was designed to be shared. And it worked. Conor became the biggest star in UFC history, not because he was the best fighter, he probably wasn't, but because he was the best at creating moments. When I was building fight promotions, I saw this firsthand. We had two fighters with similar records. One could talk, the other one couldn't. The one who would talk got more interviews, better spots on the card, more social media promotion, and ultimately more money. The quiet fighter, technically better, but nobody cared. That's the harsh reality. In the attention economy, silence is death. But Conor's success created a problem. Because suddenly, every fighter thought they could do what Conor did. And that's where things started to go wrong. Colby Covington is the perfect example of manufactured trash talk that doesn't quite land. He's playing a character, the MAGA heel, but you can see the seams. It feels forced, cringe, calculated, like he's reading from a script. And here's the problem. When trash talk feels fake, it doesn't create genuine interest, it creates cringe. Compare Colby to Conor. Conor's confidence felt real. Colby's felt a little bit like WWE impression. And then we have Dillon Danis, who understands attention really well. He proved it during Conor versus Khabib, when Khabib jumped the cage and went straight for him. He proved it again with Logan Paul, turning into an investigative reporter, digging up everything about Logan's life and weaponizing it. But here's where I think Dillon crossed the line. He went after Logan's fiancée at the time. He went after family members. He made it personal in a way that wasn't about selling a fight anymore. And the result? Dillon gets jumped all the time. Most recently by a group of Dagestani fighters in the crowd at the UFC event. Chairs flying, security scrambling. It doesn't look good. Dillon created real enemies, not just fight rivals. Actual enemies who wanted to hurt him outside the cage. There is a line, and that line is this. When your trash talk creates genuine danger, you've gone too far. Conor talked trash, but people wanted to see him win. Dillon talks trash, but people just want to see him get his ass kicked. That's a different business model. And let's go to Russian Pop-MMA, when drama becomes circus. Every press conference was a staged brawl. Every weigh-in was manufactured drama. It was WWE without admitting it was WWE. And you know what happened? Dead after 3 years. Because when you make the circus bigger than the sport, you lose the thing that made people care, which is legitimate competition. But here's where it gets interesting. The next evolution of trash talk might not come from fighters at all. The influencer pipeline. KSI, Jake Paul, Andrew Tate. These guys didn't just come from the gyms. They came from YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. And they understand something traditional fighters don't really get, that the content is the product. Jake Paul didn't build an audience by being a great boxer. He built an audience by being a great content creator who happens to box. And Andrew Tate's fight and naming him CEO, this is a pretty genius promotional move by Misfits and a big one in combat sports history. People forget, Tate is a former kickboxing world champion. He can actually fight. But that's not why this fight matters. It matters because Tate is a master communicator who's built a polarizing brand. People either love him or hate him, and that's the new game. But there's another evolution happening simultaneously. Let's just call it the Dagestani approach. Khabib, Islam Makhachev, Khamzat. And I know Khamzat is not from Dagestani, but let's just keep this simple. These guys don't do traditional trash talk. They're respectful, humble, professional until a certain point. But they create tension in a different way, through dominance, through their accent, through relentless pressure, through making it clear they're going to impose their will on you.
Send me a message like location, I'm gonna come.
If you want your son high-level wrestling, send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Became iconic, not because it was clever trash talk, but because when they say it, you knew what they meant with it. This proves something important. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The best trash talk is authentic to who you are. But here's what social media did to the game. It made trash talk 24/7. In Ali's era, you trash talked at press conferences. In Conor's era, you created viral moments. Now, you need to be a content machine, as I said before. Fighters with their own social media can now call out opponents directly, create their own narratives, go viral without the promotion's help, and build leverage in contract negotiations. At the promotions I ran, we saw this immediately. Fighters who posted content, training clips, trash talk, behind the scenes got more opportunities. Because at the end of the day, we're not just promoting fights, we're promoting content. And fighters who understand that, they get paid. So if you're a fighter, or if you're just trying to understand why some fighters become stars and others don't, here's the framework. 1. Authenticity over character. Don't try to be Conor. Don't try to be Chael. Amplify who you actually are. 2. Create clips, not speeches. 30-second moments matter more than 30-minute press conferences. 3. Know the line. Trash talk the fighter, not the family. Create rivalry, not real enemies. 4. Consistency over chaos. You need to be content machine, not a one-hit wonder. 5. UFC gets this balance right. UFC lets trash talk happen naturally. They don't force it. When two respectful fighters meet, that's fine too. The sport stands on its own. The fighters who understand this get opportunities, the ones who don't get frustrated and quit. It's not fair, but it's reality. So where does trash talk go from here? I think we're entering a split. On one side, you have the influencer fighters like Andrew Tate now, massive audience, polarizing figures, content-first approach. On the other side, you have the Dagestani model, for example, respectful, humble, letting dominance do the talking. And somewhere in the middle, the fighters who figure out how to be authentic, create content, and sell fights without crossing the line, those are the ones who build real careers. I miss the golden era. I miss when trash talk felt like genuine rivalry between two athletes who genuinely wanted to prove who was better. But I also understand the game has changed. Social media changed it, the attention economy changed it. The fighters who adapt win, the ones who don't get left behind. If you want to understand the business behind combat sports, the stuff that happens when the cameras stop rolling, I break it down every week in my newsletter. It's free, it's only 3 minutes, and it is the stuff some people don't want you to know. Link is in the description. And if you want to see how modern promotions are using celebrity and influencer-driven strategies to dominate, check out the video where I break down exactly how Craig Jones, KSI, and Mike Perry generated millions of views in a single weekend. Hit subscribe. This game is evolving fast. The fight game isn't just about fighting anymore. It's about understanding that trash talk is part of the product, and the sooner fighters accept that, the better their careers will be. See you in the next one.